G'day everyone, my name's Nick Morris from Wicked Cow Marketing. We help Australian small businesses get more traffic, leads and sales from search engines. In this video, I'm going to go through the SEO basics, including whether SEO is really right for your business and how you can get your SEO started and start getting some results.
First of all, who should do SEO? Well, SEO is useful for any business whose customers use search engines before making a purchase. This slide, as you can see, is a statistic here from a 2012 study where 89% of consumers report using search engines before making a purchase decision. So SEO's appeal is pretty broad, with many businesses customers will be using search engines before making a purchase decision. However, this doesn't mean that SEO is for every business, and in the next few slides I'm going to go through some of the points or some of the reasons that might lead to you not wanting to do SEO. So I think that's the best way to present it. So number one, you don't have a website. This might seem like an obvious one, but I've actually had people ask me before if I can do SEO for them when they don't have a website. So if you don't have a website, then SEO is not really for you yet. You're in a competitive market, but you have a low budget. SEO takes time and investment, and if you're trying to compete with businesses who have been around for a while before, they have bigger budgets, they have the budgets that's required to compete in your market, but you have a lower budget than that, then you're probably going to find it difficult, and SEO might not be for you. So you have to bring the budget along, which is required in order to compete in the market. You need customers quickly. SEO takes time, so if you need customers really quickly, then SEO is probably not for you. Now the time frame is going to differ from market to market, customer to customer, depending on a range of different factors. We usually say to people that the time frame they should be looking at is 4 to 6 months to see sort of real results from their campaign, and it can be up to sort of 8 to 12 months for really competitive markets. So if you need customers, this week or this month, then SEO is probably not the right channel for you. Something like AdWords, some sort of advertising-based channel might bring quicker results, might be better for you. Your website doesn't convert. So this is an interesting one in that it doesn't. The point of SEO really is to send more traffic to your website from search engines. However, if your website isn't converting into customers right now, then sending more traffic there isn't really going to help. So if you know your website's already converting, then that's great. We can ramp up the traffic, and you should see an increase in sales. But if it's not converting, then you should probably fix those things first before you start adding more traffic. One thing to say about that, I guess, is that in order to test your website, to test to see if it is converting, and to make tweaks and things, you will need some sort of traffic initially, so you can actually measure the results and make the changes and measure again and optimize like that. So that could be SEO. It'd probably be better to choose a more on and off source of traffic for testing conversions, like AdWords, where you can basically just get that traffic straight away, test to see if it works. Once you have that converting website, then you can start looking at SEO for tapping into that other type of market, which are using search engines. You are not knowledgeable about the products and services you are providing. Now, I'd say that most businesses would actually be knowledgeable. There are some instances you come across, particularly with online businesses. Perhaps they're an affiliate marketing type situation where they're really just on-selling someone else's product for a commission. Some types of e-commerce stores might really be more focused on running the store and might not be that knowledgeable about the products. Maybe if they're drop shipping or something and they've never actually sort of seen the product in person, they might not be that knowledgeable. It's going to be difficult to do proper high quality white hat SEO if you don't have much knowledge about the products and services you're providing, because it's really all about making your website more useful and more informative on your products and services, so that you can attract attention, you can attract authority. But if you're unable to provide that information, then you're going to struggle. And your SEO company can certainly help you out with that. and can help get experts in and stuff like that. But it's going to be really tough to do if you don't have at least a fair amount of knowledge yourself. Okay, moving on to the next section, which is what is SEO. So first of all, SEO stands for Search Engine Optimization. There's a few different definitions out there, but I define it as any activity that helps you get more traffic, that's visitors, to your website from the organic, that's the free search engine results. So how do search engines work? Now it's a very, very complicated process, and this slide here definitely simplifies it down a lot. But this will give you a sort of a basic understanding of how search engines work and how that fits in with SEO. So essentially, someone makes a search on a search engine such as Google, as you can see there at the top of the slide there. Someone's making a search for search engine optimization. Google then goes out to all of the web pages that it has saved in its index and analyzes each of those pages using their algorithm, and it looks at the phrase, looks at the page, and tries to figure out that page's relevancy and authority for that phrase. And each page is going to have different levels of these two things. Then it uses its algorithm to combine those factors to measure, and it comes out with its rankings, which you can see over there on the right, based on their algorithms and particularly those relevancy and authority factors with respect to the phrase that you're searching on, or that the person is searching on. So of those two factors, we've got relevancy and authority, so let's address relevancy. So relevancy is really about, is your page relevant to the search query? And as you can see on this slide here, I've got the search engine optimization page on Wikipedia. And you can see I've put in the little red box there highlighting that keyword in the page. So at the top there, that's in the blue text you see in the search results. That's the page title of the page. Then we've got the heading of the article there, search engine optimization. And then you've got the content with another red box around the phrase in the content itself. So these are all indicators to Google that this particular page is relevant or highly relevant to the phrase search engine optimization. You might also notice that in the last slide I had the Australian, the UK English spelling of optimization with the S instead of the Z, whereas this page has the Z. Google was able to determine that it's a different spelling of the same phrase essentially. So you don't have to worry too much about the different spellings and stuff like that. Okay, the second factor there that we're looking at, or that search engines look at, is the authority of the web page with respect to the phrase. So that's, is your web page a trusted authority on the search query topic? Now the main sort of method that Google uses to determine whether a web page is authoritative is to look at the number and quality of incoming links that page has from other pages. And as you can see in this little diagram here, we've got pages B, C, and D are all linking to page A. So they're all sort of votes. Google considers those as votes by each of those pages for page A's authority and quality on this particular topic. So how does SEO work? So with SEO, we maximize your website's relevancy and authority for each of the topics related to your products and services. So coming back to that relevancy and authority that I just went through, and particularly applying it to topics that are related to your products and services, because we want you to get the results for those topics. There's three main steps to SEO. There's keyword research and website optimization, number one there, ongoing content creation, number two, and ongoing link building, number three. And SEO, at this point I'll say that SEO is an ongoing process. You might think maybe it's a one-off process that I just do SEO and then bam, I rank and then I don't have to do any more. But no, SEO is an ongoing process. So it's something you should be doing every month. The activities might change from month to month as you sort of as the strategy matures, but certainly it's an ongoing process. And going back to our relevancy and authority that we've mentioned, the step number one there, so, keyword research and website optimization, will increase the relevancy of your website for your keywords. and topics. Ongoing content creation will increase your relevancy and authority, and ongoing link building will increase your authority. So that's how those 3 steps relate to the relevancy and authority factors. Okay, let's move on to the next section here, which is basic SEO tips. And I'm going to address these by looking at each of those 3 aspects that I just mentioned. So the first one being keyword research and website optimization. And 3 areas that we're going to put here under the basic SEO tips are Google Places, which is for local businesses, keyword optimization, and user experience. First of all, Google Places. Now you've probably seen the Google Place listings in Google search results when doing searches yourself. So essentially, anytime you're making a search that Google considers to be for a local business, they'll put results into the search results. It's all calculated within their algorithm, so there's no exact criteria that we know that we can tell you, but you'll see them when they make those local searches. So often if you use a business name plus, so a keyword plus a location name, you'll see these sorts of results. Also, just if Google thinks it's a local result. So for instance, if you're searching for, pizza delivery place, then it's pretty obvious that you're looking for something in the local area. You're not looking for a pizza delivery place in another city or another country. Whereas if you're looking for pizza recipe, that could quite easily be an international website, not necessarily a local business. So the things you want to do with Google Places is you want to claim and verify your Google Place listing. There's a bit of a process you need to go through for this, depending on whether Google already recognizes your business or not. I'll have links near this video on our website where you can go and find get the process rolling to do that. You want to complete all of your business information on your Google Place page listing. So that means the description, that means your office hours, all your contact details, your website. Put some photos in there, videos if you have them, proper description, categories, all the information you possibly can, fill it all up. That'll be great. And then the last one here is encourage customers to submit reviews. As you can see in this little screenshot I've got here, I've got some reviews, 3.6 out of 5 from 7 Google reviews. Getting people to review your business will help you to appear within the Google, the local results that appear in the search results. So try and get your customers to review you on there, so you can perhaps go and contact your best customers from the past and ask them nicely if they wouldn't mind leaving a review. You might want to put a link on your website that says, we'd really appreciate it if you went and reviewed us on our place page here. In order to leave a review, they're going to need a Google account. So another way you can sort of maximize review potential is by going to your email database of customers and searching for people that have a Gmail address, because they have a Google account already, so they might make it a little bit better conversion rate for attracting them to leave reviews. Okay, next slide here is keyword optimization. So this is getting your keywords, the keywords you're trying to target, the ones that are related to your products and services, into the right places on your web pages, so that Google and other search engines know what those pages are about. And so they can actually relate the relevancy that's actually there, and relate that into a real metric which they can then use in their algorithm. So we're going back to the Wikipedia search engine optimization page here, which I mentioned earlier. As you can see, I've circled the keyword phrase there in red, as I did before. In the top one there, the blue link is the title, the page title of the page, and that actually appears in the search results. We've got the heading there in black, in sort of big black writing. That's the heading of the page, or the heading of the article. And I've also got the content down here with the phrase basically right at the front of the content. And also having the phrase throughout the content is also useful. I've also put a box around the orange box there around what's known as the page description, or the meta description, that appears in the search results as well, underneath the title there and underneath the URL. And that isn't actually directly related to keyword optimization. This won't help you with your rankings, but it's important for increasing your click-through rates. So click-through rates are basically the number of people who, when they see your search result, actually click through to your website. So you want to put a little description in there which describes what the page is about and also encourages people to click. So if you have some sort of unique selling point, perhaps you're a product business and you have free shipping, that you might want to put the free shipping in there because that might entice people to click a little more, click on your result rather than competitor's result, which they might be looking at. Also down the bottom there, I've put a big green box around the content, and I've labeled it there useful content. So you want to make sure that the content on your page is useful and informative for your target customer. You want to try and help them through your conversion process, through your sales funnel, and you want to answer lots of their questions and things on that page, and it be useful content. So they might share it with their friends or whatever, or they might bookmark it to come back later. Okay, the last point here under this section is the user experience. Now you want to provide a useful, informative content, which I just sort of went through in that last slide. You want to make sure that provides a good user experience for people landing on the page, so that they get a positive experience from it, which will make them stick around longer and make it more likely that they're going to actually read about the service you provide and understand it and maybe apply it to their situation and actually go and buy or hire your service. You also want to make sure your website's easy to use. So if they can't use it might have really great content, but if they can't use the website easily, maybe the text is really small, or there's lots of big ads everywhere and they're heaps annoying, or you've got pop-ups and things which are annoying, then they may just leave, even if you have really great content and a really fantastic product or service. If the experience is no good, then people might leave. Another one to mention there is page load speed. If your page loads really slowly, then people might just get sick of it and go hit the back button and go on to the next result. The other one on that point is making sure your website is a good experience on mobile devices. Mobile devices are becoming more and more popular ways of viewing websites, particularly if you have some sort of local business which people might be looking for when they're out and about. Maybe it's a restaurant or some sort of local service which they might search for when they're out and then come straight to your business. You want to make sure that your website is appearing well and is easy to use on mobile devices. I think around 50% of all web traffic at the moment is on mobile devices, and it's been growing, so it's probably going to overtake desktop traffic pretty soon. So you definitely want to make sure you have a responsive website, or at least a website that appears well on mobile devices. And my last point here under user experience is to make sure your business address and phone number appears on every page of your website. So you want to make it easy for people to go ahead and call you, but also to be confident that you are in fact in their local area if you're a local business, and they can quickly sort of verify that you have a real address and a real phone number and that you're a real business. Okay, we're skipping the ongoing content creation section under the basic tips. We'll pick that up in the intermediate tips because it's perhaps a little bit more advanced. So under the next section, ongoing link building tips, we have number one here is high quality business directories. Then we also have link to your website when relevant and ask for links when relevant. All right, high quality business directories. Some people have sort of predicted or said that directories are on their way out for link building and for search engine optimization, which could be true to some degree. You also want to consider that the directories certainly have the ability to send you customers directly, especially some of the more popular directories like TrueLocal and HotFrog and Yellow Pages and things like that. So there's that benefit. There's also benefits to be got from the link building perspective when you're actually building links which Google might trust to help your search engine optimization. And there's also another thing which is called your NAP consistency or NAP citations. This is specifically related to Google Local or Google Places, which we mentioned before. So essentially you want to make sure that there is lots and lots and lots of citations of your business name, address, and phone number around the web. And you want to make sure that those are consistent. The thinking here is that Google, when they're listing information about local businesses, they want to be sure that those businesses actually exist and that the details they have for them are correct. So by making sure that your name, address, and phone number are consistent across your different business directory listings, but also your website and your Google Place page, helps to ensure that Google knows that those are the correct information, correct details, and that your business actually does exist in that location. So you want to add your business to lots of business directories and making sure that you have NAP consistency there. You can use general directories, you can use location-specific directories, and you can use industry-specific directories. Only focus on directories that are high quality. If you see a directory that just looks low quality to you, then it's probably not a good idea to try and submit your business there. We actually have a resource on the Wicked Cow Marketing website where we list all the directories basically we've ever come across, all the business directories from Australia that we've ever come across. You can see a little section of that here on this slide, and we actually give you the target topic, the target location, our sort of assessment of the design quality, which will give you an idea of the quality of the directory, whether the links from that directory are followed, which is an SEO sort of term, and the cost of that directory. And I'll put a link to that resource right near this video, and you can go look at that for help when doing your directory submissions. Okay, ask for and add links when relevant. So you basically want to leverage anytime it's relevant for you or to add a link. So it's either you adding it yourself or asking someone else to add it. You want to get those links because they're going to help. So anytime your business is mentioned, this could be in some sort of business list somewhere. It could be on a partner's website. It might be in a directory that maybe someone else has added, or some sort of membership, anything like that with your business. It's your business has already been mentioned, so it's fairly natural to add a link to that, because if your business is mentioned, there must be some reason for that, and then adding a link will help whoever is reading that to maybe go and find out a little bit more about your business. So that's a good way to get links looking for business mentioned. Also when you are mentioned, so you meaning say the business owner or maybe other key staff at the business, particularly in a professional sense, but not necessarily. I mean, you might be a member of a local football club or something, or a sponsor there, or a supporter or something, or you might be on the committee, and there might be an about page or something about you, and it's not a professional website. It's not professionally related to you, but you could certainly mention your business and your website in there, and that would be perfectly natural. And number 3 point here is when a competitor is mentioned. So this won't always hold true. It's not always going to be relevant and natural to add a link to you when a competitor is mentioned. However, in some situations it will be. It might be some sort of business list where a website's listing a whole bunch of businesses that are useful for a particular job, such as the job that you do. And if a competitor is mentioned, that's a good indication that you might also be able to get mentioned. It could also be some sort of news article or some sort of article on a blog or an information site where your competitor is mentioned, and you might want to say, hey, why don't you mention us as well as a different option for people, or a different perspective perhaps on the same service or whatever. So you can try and sort of pitch yourself as adding a bit more balance or whatever to the article. And a good way to keep a track of these different mentions, so you can go ahead and get those links added, is to use Google Alerts, which will allow you to essentially set an email to come out. I think it can be as it happens, or daily or weekly, which will just give you a summary of Google, whereas Google has found particular keywords that you've put in your alerts around the web. So if it's your business name, they'll let you know of all the mentions of your business name around the web, so you can go ahead and try and get those links. Okay, heading on now to intermediate SEO tips. And starting again here with the keyword research and website optimization section. So number one is to do keyword research, and number two here is to get an SEO audit. Alright, doing keyword research. So this process essentially gives you a little bit more ability to make sure that you're picking the right keywords. Google's pretty smart in that they can understand sort of synonyms of words. So if you're using a particular word, but some people use a synonym of that word or a similar other word um, to the one that you're using, they can usually show both. So someone searches on the synonym and your website only has the other word, they can still show your website. So they're trying to target a little bit more by topic than by individual keyword, but still keyword research is important, and it will help you to understand, which keywords get the most search traffic and are the most relevant commercially to your business, so that you can sort of better target your content and your pages. Google has a tool called the Keyword Planner. It's more meant for the AdWords advertisers, but you can certainly use it for your search engine optimization research and use it to apply to your web pages when doing this keyword optimization. So I'll put a link to that near this video so you can go check that out. It's free to use. You'll need an AdWords account, I believe, but you don't need to pay anything for that, so you can just set one up and then get using it, and you'll be able to see the search volume of different keywords that you're looking at, so you can try and make a bit of a judgment call about which keywords you should be targeting. The other one here under the first point being search engine, being keyword research and website optimization, is to get an SEO audit. Now this is really something that you have to outsource to an SEO provider, but this is especially important if you have a large and complicated website, which is going to be less common with small businesses. However, if you have, for instance, an e-commerce website, then this is when an SEO audit is certainly, I'd say, basically required. You should almost always get an SEO audit if you have an e-commerce website, because there's so many different sort of technical problems and things with duplicate content, things with accessibility and site architecture and internal linkings and all sorts of stuff, which need to be sort of just so, or can be optimized and can have a significant effect on your results. But it's just really, really difficult for any sort of business owner without expertise in SEO to go through and do that themselves. So I would recommend, if you have an e-commerce website, or if you have a large and complicated regular information website, that you should look into getting an SEO audit, and that will go through and basically look at all of the different aspects and give you recommendations for how you can fix those or optimize those. Okay, next section is ongoing content creation, and the 2 points I've got here are start a blog and create client project case studies. So number one here, start a blog. So blogs have been around for a while now, and I think most people will be familiar with a blog. A blog it's not necessary to use an actual blog for adding content. You could use an article or a resources section of your website. I'd say the technology that a blog provides, often with something like WordPress to create the blog, makes the process of adding content much easier than if you have to go through your web designer each time to get them to add a new page. That's a bit of a blockage. Is sort of a barrier to you adding more content, and might lead to you being less able, or less bothered to add that content. So anything you can do to make the process easier will, I think, make it more likely you're going to be able to actually add this content. So a blog's a good way to do that, and people also understand that a blog means content, it means information. So people will quickly be able to sort of identify, this is where I need to go for information. So under the blog section here, I'd say add regular articles to your blog. Try and inform and entertain your audience. So useful information directly related to your business, but also on topics that are a little bit sort of broader, but also try and entertain, be a little bit maybe lighthearted sometimes. People like to be entertained, so you can kind of use both approaches for your business to get good engagement with those blog posts. Try and establish yourself as an expert in your industry. and that really goes by answering questions, um, adding content which helps people out, maybe gives them supporting information that are related to your products and things, and really establishing yourself. So basically the blog author, and that could often could be the business owner or a key person at the business. That's a good way to do it, establishing that person as the expert, and they're sort of a key person within the business, and then their expertise is lended to the business to make the business an expert. Another way to look at it is that you try to make the business an expert, which is a little bit harder to sort of pinpoint, because people know that a business is not like one person, but it's a group of experts or whatever. So either way can work, but trying to build the brand of expertise or the brand of an expert with your business or with a key person in the business. Okay, another type of content you can create is client project case studies. So this is when it's going to be differ a little bit from business to business. So particularly if you do B2B and you have sort of big projects that you work on. It doesn't have to be B2B, but big projects where you can add information about it. If you're, like a corner shop or something, then it's not going to be really that relevant if you're sort of high turnover, lots of products and stuff like that. But in those cases, you can put a case study on a particular sort of market segment or whatever, and you want to just describe things in these case studies like the problem that you're solving for your customer. What are some of the challenges that you faced within this particular customer project and how you overcame them? Add any photos and videos that you have. So try and take photos and videos of client, products or services that you're providing, or the result of those services. Of course, if it's okay with the customer, check with them first. But add those if you can, and also add client testimonials in there as well if you can. This will really help. This will help with conversions and stuff as well, but it'll help with search. If someone's searching, they may not necessarily use the keywords that you found in your keyword research, or that you might directly associate with your service. They might search based on a particular problem that they're trying to solve, or they might search based on a challenge that they foresee within sort of executing the solution to a problem. And this is a good way to try and cover off some of those keywords, some of those topics, which may not sort of come out in your direct keyword research. Okay, the third section here, third step within the intermediate SEO tips is ongoing link building. And we have here get links, get the links that your competitors have, leverage business relationships to get links, and host a free event and promote through local blogs and websites. Okay, get competitor links. Now you can just search in Google, or you can use software like Majestic SEO. Here at Wicked Cow Marketing, we use some software called Majestic SEO, which actually essentially lets us see all of the links that your competitors have. So this is our first stage with new clients when approaching a new link building campaign. Get all of their competitors together, put them through Majestic SEO, and see where they're getting their links from. This is a great first step when doing link building, because the work's sort of already been done, or at least a lot of the work's already been done by your competitors, either on purpose or just through doing normal business. And they've got all these links, so you can leverage that information that's already there to quickly get you knowledge-wise up to where you need to be to know what activities you can do to get links. So doing competitor backlink analysis allows you to get that information. If the software that we use is a sort of pay per month thing, which might not be worth it for you doing it yourself, so you could use just a search in Google by searching by your competitor's business name or their URL, or even just searching using your keywords and location in Google and seeing who comes up and if there are links to competitors in there. You can then, once you've identified those websites that are linking to your competitors, you can email them, and you want to try and encourage or ask them to link to you, and it works better if you can provide some sort of reason. So this is one of the reasons why we do ongoing content creation, because that's making the website more useful all the time. And if you can email someone and say, it'd be great if you could link to us from this page, this resource page or whatever, this article that you've written, you can point them and say, one of the reasons you might link to us here is because we've created this great resource which could be useful for their customers. So they're actually helping themselves a little bit by linking to you, because they're being a gateway to the information that you have provided for their customers. So it's a good way. You want to try and sell it to them so that there's some sort of benefit there, rather than just asking for a link, which is probably much less likely to be successful. The third point here, leverage business relationships. So anytime you'll have plenty of relationships, within between other businesses, between your business and other businesses, which you can leverage for links. One thing might be provider portfolio. So if you have a web designer, if you have a graphic designer, if you have an SEO company, if you have a business consultant, a whole range of different business relationships you might have. If they have a portfolio on their website, or maybe a testimonial section or whatever, you can then ask that your project that they worked on for you can be included in their portfolio. So the typical one, of course, is web designers, but it can also apply to anyone really that has a portfolio, or even a section on their website that has case studies, or a blog where they might talk about the occasional case study. So that's a good way to get links, by leveraging those business relationships with providers. Stockist lists. So if you sell products, and you sell products that aren't your own products, they're produced by someone else, brands that produce products will often have a list on their website of where people can buy those products. And you want to make sure that you are on those lists and that there's a link included if possible. Another one is testimonial links. So this is where you basically, it's related to that top one there, the provider portfolios one. So essentially you want to go out to every business that you've ever done business with, where they've provided services for you, and you want to ask them if they would like, provided that they actually provided a good service for you that you enjoyed, and you were happy with what they provided. Reach out to them, ask them if they would like a testimonial to put on their website, and if they say yes, then give them a proper testimonial, an honest testimonial, and also include your business information there and your link. Now it's going to be up to them whether they include that link on the website. You could require them to do it, but that's a little bit edgy in that that's sort of a low quality link, because it's kind of a value exchange there. But if you just give them the link and then they include it, then it's an editorial link, and that's a good way to leverage that business relationship. Even if they don't include a link, if you give them a photo and your name, you're still improving your personal brand, because you're getting your personal photo out there, you're getting your name out there, you're getting your business name out there. So even if they don't include a link, you can get your sort of brand out there. Can help anyway. And my last little tip here under the intermediate SEO link building tips is to host a free event. Put the details of the event on your website, and then promote the event through local blogs, local websites, local news organizations, and maybe industry specific news sites and content sites. Submit events. As you can see, there's a little submit form on the slide there. There'll be lots of websites where you can submit your event, and a lot of them will have a place where you can include a link to where the event information, which of course is on your website. One thing I'll just say related to that is that a lot of people are using a site called Eventbrite now to run their events, and I've heard that's a really fantastic site for taking payments and promoting events and all that sort of stuff. But don't make the mistake of putting your business information, or your event information on Eventbrite and then promoting the Eventbrite page, because then if you get any links or social shares or whatever, they'll be to the Eventbrite page rather, to your website, which is not as good for you. So put the details on your website and promote that page, and then you can link to the Eventbrite page from there for people to actually register for the event and pay and stuff. Okay, that brings us to the end of this search engine optimization presentation. I hope you've got lots of great information in there that you can apply to your business. For further resources, you can check out the Wicked Cow Marketing website. This video will be up on that website, and we'll have links to all of the resources I mentioned, and we'll also have regularly updated articles and things on there with more information that will help you with your search engine optimization. There's also a fantastic beginner's guide to SEO, which is done by Moz, which is an SEO software company, and I'll also include a link to that on our website where you can go get a really sort of broad overview of SEO and get some great information, background information in there to basically everything we've talked about in this video. Great, thanks very much. My name's Nick Morris again from Wicked Cow Marketing, and I'll see you later.